Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A Video, the official Q&A video series for NoDQ.com. And it's on YouTube, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Got a lot of questions here from formspring.me/Aaron Rift. So let's get right down to it. First one today comes from G Player Mendez. Hi Aaron, how do you think the John Cena versus Daniel Bryan match at Summerslam will end? Assuming that's the last match of the pay-per-view, if Cena beats Bryan, he would most likely be booed out of the building, and it's unlikely to see Cena tap out. Any chance of outside interference? Please answer in video. Well, considering this is a WWE title match on pay-per-view, I would certainly not rule out the chances of there being some sort of interference or a screwy finish, especially if John Cena loses. I could very well see WWE having some sort of gimmick to protect John Cena if in fact the plan is for Daniel Bryan to beat him. That way Cena doesn't come off looking too bad. You know, a couple years ago at SummerSlam when CM Punk beat John Cena, they had the whole gimmick where Cena's foot was on the rope and Triple H didn't see it. So I could very well see something like that happening again, something similar. And that's if Daniel Bryan even beats John Cena, which is still very much a question mark at this point. I definitely don't see Daniel Bryan winning via submission. I don't see John Cena tapping out, although that would really get a lot of people talking. If John Cena actually tapped out to somebody and tapped out to Daniel Bryan, that would really make Daniel Bryan over the top as a superstar, the guy that made John Cena tap out. But I don't think WWE is going to do that. I think the chances are slim to none. I think in all likelihood, I'm thinking that Daniel Bryan will win the title. But like you said, probably some sort of outside interference or gimmick so Daniel Bryan doesn't beat John Cena 100% decisively. All right, this one comes from TreyFlow625. With all the crap TNA is into at the moment, do you believe that switching back to the monthly pay-per-views will help them gain that missing money, or is the damage already done? Well, for one thing, according to what's out there, the pay-per-view buy rates haven't really increased since TNA made the switch to 4 live pay-per-views a year. And of course, those numbers aren't confirmed because TNA is a private company. But I certainly, at least on NoDQ.com's end, I haven't seen any more interest in the TNA pay-per-views like Slammiversary and Lockdown than usual. And the problem with only doing the 4 pay-per-views a year is that at least when TNA had a monthly pay-per-view, they always had something to build up to, and I think that made for better television. And you know, the shows have been okay as of late, but it really feels like things are dragging out more, and there's no real direction from week to week, and there's nothing you're really building up to. Although they did do the Destination X special, and they're doing the Hardcore Justice special in August. So I mean, they are doing these once a month big specials as a way to make up for the lack of monthly pay-per-views. But I don't really feel the experiment worked. I think you know, they spent a lot of money doing those one night only pay-per-views, and you know, I get almost zero feedback from people regarding those pay-per-views, and I really don't think anybody's been watching them. And when I say nobody, I mean just a very small amount of people. So I think at some point TNA should consider going back to the monthly format. That seems to be a winning formula and something that works, and or at the very least, it's something that you have you can build up every month. You have something to build up to on television. So I mean, if it was me, I would go back to the monthly pay-per-views. Corey Osborne 1 asks, "Hey Aaron, please answer in video. Do you think WWE should do a wildcard match like they did for the Survivor Series pay-per-view in 1995 when heels and faces were a team versus other heels and faces? If so, who should make up the teams? Thanks." I was actually a really big fan of that wildcard match at Survivor Series. I was really entertained by that as a kid. I loved that match. And I'm surprised WWE hasn't done it more often. I think it's an interesting dynamic when you have the heels and faces having to work together, and it makes the match more interesting, and it's something different that you don't get to see all the time. So I would definitely like to see it come back at some point, maybe for this year's Survivor Series, and you know, just put in the guys that are feuding with each other, you know, like Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus, put them together, and maybe put tag team partners on opposite teams. Impact actually had that a few weeks ago with Bobby Roode and Kazarian against Daniels and Austin Aries, or it might have been the opposite. But it was the two tag teams with their opposite tag team partners. And I thought that was a really entertaining match. So, I would like to see WWE do something like that for Survivor Series again, definitely. All right, this one comes from Outcast007. Hey, Aaron, I've been watching the 2010 pay-per-views and shows. In my opinion, the Undertaker vs. Kane feud in 2010 was a very good and underrated feud. Your thoughts and a feud you thought was underrated in 2010, please answer in video. To be honest with you, I wasn't a huge fan of that feud. I really liked Kane's promos, and I liked the return of Paul Bearer, but that was really about it. I actually thought the Hell in a Cell match was awful. Didn't think it was good. And, The Undertaker was really having a tough time during that period. He was broken down and hurt, and he ended up disappearing from WWE after that feud was done. And, he hasn't really been on a regular schedule since. And as far as underrated feuds in 2010, anything with CM Punk. I liked the CM Punk feud with Randy Orton in the beginning of the year. I was a little bit disappointed with the WrestleMania match. Thought it should have been a better match for WrestleMania, but I still liked the interaction between the two of them leading up to WrestleMania. So and I would have liked to have seen more matches from those two. I think that they, definitely at some point now in 2013, if Randy Orton goes heel, I think WWE should put Orton and Punk together in a feud at some point. I think that would be really good stuff. All right, this one comes from Jerome Inc. What did you think about wrestlers not using their real names over the years? There have been a lot of guys without a real gimmick having a bad name, like Braden Walker, Jimmy Yang Wang, and then there's some good ones, aka Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. I don't really think it matters if a wrestler uses his real name or not, as long as it's a good name. If it's a stupid name, then you should change it. The one that really I never understood was the Michael McGillicuddy name for Joe Henning. Curtis Axel is a better name. I would have still gone with Joe Henning, but WWE wants to own the name whenever possible, which is why they come up with these names. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. All right, this last one today comes from Dylan320. With WWE wanting a black babyface, do you see Darren Young and/or Titus O'Neil getting that push? And if so, what capacity? Please answer in video. Well, yeah, the word going around right now is that WWE wants to give a big push to an African-American superstar and, really tap into that demographic, similar to how Rey Mysterio goes to the Hispanic audience. They want to have an African-American star who, will help boost the ratings with that demographic. So as far as Darren Young or Titus O'Neil being the person that WWE pushes, I'm not really sure if either of those guys would work, but it could happen where WWE gives them a chance, one of those guys a chance at least. But I think more than likely, if anybody gets a push in the immediate future, I'm thinking it's going to be Mark Henry. Mark Henry just turned babyface, and he's got 3 more years left on his contract. He just signed a new deal. So, I could see WWE giving him a big push as a babyface and seeing where things go with him. One last big run as a babyface before he retires. So, I think WWE will most likely go with Mark Henry. And, Kofi Kingston's another guy. They already pushed him. I would be surprised. But, maybe they'll give him another push when he's ready to come back. You just don't know. But, really, there aren't a whole lot of African Americans on the WWE roster that I can think of that they might want to push at a top level. Somebody like Alberto Del Rio for the Hispanic audience, they've really been pushing him hard. I don't know who else fits the bill besides somebody like Mark Henry. So, I'm going to go with Mark Henry, and maybe they'll try the other guys as well. Who knows? All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe. YouTube.com/NoDQCAW. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest SummerSlam news and rumors. I will be there at Staples Center to cover the event. My 5th time at Staples Center for SummerSlam. And NoDQ.com, your place. Follow me, twitter.com/NoDQ, DOTCOM. I will be tweeting during the pay-per-view. And, of course, that feed will be on NoDQ.com as well. And tell a friend about NoDQ&A video. Share this video on Facebook or Twitter. Let anybody you know who watches wrestling know about NoDQ&A video. Keep spreading the word. I appreciate all the support from you guys, and I just want to say thank you for watching and, subscribing or whatever. I'm really thankful that I have an audience here, a very vocal audience at times, but, you guys leave feedback. Let me know what you think, either good or bad. I definitely read all the email and try to interact with people, so leave a comment on the YouTube page, and I will see you next time for more NoDQ&A video.